War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. I am reminding you of a time when people sung to pass the time and to tell of the circumstances that befell them at the time. You see, war, famine, destruction is everywhere. But I despise war because war means tears to thousands of mothers' eyes when their sons go fight and lose their lives. War is the enemy of all mankind. Even the thought of war blows my mind. War has caused unrest within the younger generation, induction, and then destruction. Who wants to die? War has shattered many men's dreams, made them disabled, bitter, and mean. Life is too short and precious to be fighting wars these days. War can't give life, it can only take it away. War is a heartbreaker, only a friend to the undertaker. You have to ask yourself, is there really a place today for peace, love, and understanding? The people that tell us we have to fight for our freedom, a freedom that they call democracy, but at the same time, what you see is autocracy. You see the rich making the poor fight each other, and they benefiting from it. And we, the people, because don't you understand that these same people that are in the community, that are in society, are fighting each other? Humankind is supposed to be brotherhood. But I'll tell you, right now, we are nothing but enemies. And we don't know who our true enemy is, because what millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire you know is going to pick up an M16 and go fight a war? They think they're too good and smart for that. So they're going to use you, your children, your grandchildren, just like they used all of the rest of our ancestors. And we've fallen for the same game. I say, if you want a war, why don't we just take the leaders? You want to run the country? You want to be king? Well, let the two kings fight, okay? Y'all have a problem? Y'all fight. The citizens and the people who they're supposed to be taking care of fight for their property. What do I mean by that? You see, nothing has really changed. You see, the police, or whomever you want to call them, that's law enforcement, they are nothing but property protectors. And they do what they were hired to do. In order for them to remove themselves from the situations that most people are in, being poor, then they take these jobs that make them feel as though they have power and that they're sitting at the table of the people who wields the power. But at the same time, we neglect to find out and research that those are the same people who grew up under us, with us, over us, in the same communities and society that they now judge harshly. We act as though we can't think for ourselves. We act like we can't see the sleight of hand, the pulling the wool over your eyes. We are not fools, but we play the part of a fool when we sit down and we let people take advantage of us and we do not do anything about it. As I said before, law enforcement was nothing but people who actually watched out for rich people's property. Now you see, at one time there were the Africans, the Indians, and the Irish and Italians, and the poor white people, supposedly white, in the fields until they saw them as a threat. Then they took them out of the fields and made them, and the big black man, they made them the slave catchers, the watchers of their property. But nobody seemed to remember that, you see, the land, the Africans, the Indians, the Italians, Irish, and all the poor people were their property, just like you steal their property today. Same game, different name. And we don't like to hear that, but power is wielded over us like we're kindergartners. Now war has come to your front door, knocking on your door or kicking it down. Same thing that happened in the Civil War is happening now, brother against brother, they say. But all I see is a king that don't want to give up a throne and is looking for any excuse, any way to keep his kingdom. And I see little children playing Humpty Dumpty, and they had a great fall. Well, why don't you stop falling and get up and stand up and fight for the democracy that you say that you have? You have a document that's supposed to bring law and order, not for everybody, but for most people. And you can use the foundations of that document if only you would do the right thing. We know some people, especially the powerful, are not going to do the right thing. The law was not written for them. Look who wrote the law. They were powerful men. So you think they made a document that was going to correct them? No. It was to correct you. But you can still use that document, and then you can grow into the shoes and the clothes that you wear to be adults to correct the wrong in society. You don't think we have war? There's a war against democracy, aristocracy, theology. All of this is happening. They talk about not wanting to be undemocratic. You can't be democratic in your own country, but you're going to go over to Africa. You're going to go over to Venezuela and all these other places and tell them about being democratic when you can't do what you said that you are? You better wake up.